Yeah, right. So, once again, good evening. All right. So, I said we're going to be treating mockups, and what I said, we want to know what mockups are, how we can use them, and when we get to use them. That's very important when we get to use them. You know that as designers, you are faced with many clients. You are faced with clients. You're not just designing for yourself alone, even though you'll be designing for yourself, but you are faced with many clients, and clients have kinds. In fact, I don't think there's any where we can say we have five types of clients, we have 10 types of clients because every client behave differently. But generally, we have also seen that most of the things that pleases clients is showing them a finished work. You've heard clients when they say, as designer, can you show me an example? And they want you to use their work as the example. Okay. And sometimes, I don't advise people to do that. As starters, you may do that just to capture the minds of the client, but as time goes on, you will not be able to do that. Not that you will not want to do it, but there will be not such time again because you'll be very occupied with many jobs. And that's it for me. That's why the Instagram is there for you to post your works or your jobs or your project. Even if they are not real, let them be fictitious, but just post them. So it is in the midst of those jobs you can find what client wants and send to them and say, okay, you need a logo design. Okay, I did this logo for so brand and here is it. You might want to check it out. And they can just look through the job and see all you did for them, both real time production and mockups. When I mean real time, like, if you ended up printing the work, it's also very good for them to see how the job came out. So, like, if you go to my Instagram, you see the jobs that are mockups, but you see the jobs that are real. Like, I printed them and I put those ones in my highlights in my Instagram. Okay, so it's very, very necessary for you to understand that mockups are like what emulates the real time jobs that we do. If you are designing a flyer, you want to show the client how this flyer will eventually look like. Okay, so it's very important how the flyer will look like eventually. Then you want to do a design for a billboard, then you need to show how the billboard will look like. Okay, there are many designs that I have done in the past, and when I present them, the client is wowed. The client is not wowed because the design is fine. The client is wowed that you were able to finish and show them what the design will look like afterwards. That's why mock-up is so good. Okay, I have a mentor who I think but with time you guys will get to know him because he's hosting a program very soon for designers, and definitely I'm going to post it on my status so that you will see it. Uh, he's always like, whenever I do a job and I show to him, he say, create more mock-ups for this job. Think outside the box where these people's perhaps logo or jobs will reflect and create mock-ups showing them. In fact, I have uncountable mock-ups for like outside views where you have things like maybe like designs, sorry, billboards, banner ads, any public design. In fact, any traditional design that has to be done on main roads, posters on the wall. I have plenty of that. Like, I'm willing to share that with us. But you have to think too. This thing I'm designing, can it be printed in a poster form and posted before you use a poster mockup? Otherwise, you'll be confusing the client. Like, are we planning to print this thing like this? And sometimes your predictions could be correct. You might be predicting that definitely they are going to make a billboard, and you could be correct. And even if they don't have it in mind, seeing it or seeing their job on the billboard, they will plan for it. I have a job right now that I am pushing out on the on a billboard, like I'm doing a billboard for them. But I did the job like years ago. It was a logo project. I did the job years ago and projected their job on a on a billboard, and they loved it. Now today they are requesting for a billboard design for that same job I did. So you can just imagine, I've already made it very easy for myself. Okay, so these mock-ups, they can come in different kinds. They can come as paper, mostly paper. They can come as what like what's it called now? Stationaries, maybe biros, flash drives. They can even come as containers, cups, maybe cream cups, and all that. Every brand you want to build a visual a design for, we definitely have mock-up for it. If you are doing a clothing brand, of course, there are mock-ups for it. So your own is the first step is uh you need to search for similar brands that uses such mock-up. Then try as much as possible to emulate what that brand, like if I'm doing a design for a phone company right now, maybe they are producing phone, I have to go and look at maybe what Samsung is doing or what Apple is doing with their phones as it concerns phones, and try as much as possible to come up with my own, but come up much more better. So that is what mockups are. So how can we get to use them? That's the next thing now. Okay, I have a mockup here, and this is a business card mockup. So imagine like, okay, this is for me anyway, but imagine like you want to really present a business card. All the clients give you is design me a business card. You should be able to come up with a business card idea. They should have a logo, and they should have colors. They should have all of their elements used for the design. Then you can come up with it. But I'm going to go over redesigning this logo as if I don't. I mean, this business card as if I don't really like it. But let me assume I don't like it. Though I like some things in it, but let me go over redesigning it for a staff of mine. So let's try that. First of all, one thing you have to notice in the mockup is when you download it. Okay, let me. I don't know. You will not be able to see my other screens, but when you download it and you open it, they always come in PSDs. That's Photoshop document. PSD, Photoshop document. They come in PSDs, and when you open them, they can open. Watch my layer now. They can open and have all this in them. Okay, if you look at the first layer, backside, the visibility is off. It doesn't matter. Okay, the next one, front side, the visibility too is off, and it doesn't matter. I'll tell you why that doesn't matter. The next one is the editable layers. Yes, you might want to come in here. It's a folder, editable layer. So if you open it now, you will see all that is in it. So the first one is curves, reflection, all these things, except you know what you are doing. I cannot teach why when you should come to curves and when you should come to reflection, or when, but what I know I can do is wherever you see something that gives you like an instruction or a guide, like change color, which is here now. Yes, you can try that out to see what it does. If we double click on that place, let me double click now. It brings up this color. I hope you can see this dialog box. Please, if you can see the dialog box, color picker, solid color dialog box. Just say I can see it. Anything at all, just say it. I can see it. Please.
Yes, I can see it. Yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So this color is where we can change. You can see right now it's on yellow. You can see it is on yellow. So I can change it now to any color of my choice. Let me make it like red. Let me go down a bit and change it to red. Now see what is affected as I'm changing. You can see what is affected, the balls. So automatically on the layer side, we are seeing balls color, and we are seeing change color underneath it because it's a folder. Look at it. Okay, let me say okay to that. So if I close it, you see it's closed. So that's the ball's color. And I open it now, and that's where the color red is reflecting on this ball. So all these ones are just to like add some kind of if it is a Yoruba, they will say jara, or a fizzy, to make the thing look so sweet, because we are imagining that this business card is falling from the space. So these colors too should somehow emulate with the colors we find around. The next one is the background color, which is also a folder, and I open it, and this color here is like something like a chocolate brown. If you double click on it, we can change it. You can even make it white. So you see, and white looks so good. White is also good. Okay, and we'll click OK. Okay, and this is still okay. This is very, very okay too. But the major one we're going to concern ourselves is designing the business card and bringing it into the mockup. Okay, first of all, if you go into the back side, like we have the back side and we have the front side. Okay, if you right click and edit content, which is when you right click outside, please don't right click on the thumbnail. Nope, you will see a different thing. Just right click outside the thumbnail, or perhaps outside the name, and you will see edit content. Okay, take note of that, please. So when you right click and edit content, it will open to where you have just the view of that particular card. I think it's the front business card we opened. Let me make sure that's what we did. Yes, front side. So we'll go back to it, business card. So this is where I would say for some persons you can design here, but I don't really advise that you design here. What I advise is just take note of the size of this business card, or you take a business card size and just design, like open a new document and put the business card size 3.2 by 2.2 for some business cards. You can just find out, you can browse about it. I don't think it's 2.2. It looks too wide, too high. Okay, but let me change this to inches. Pixels, change to inches. Then maybe change this to 2. Press enter. Yes, the new canvas size man and the current ones. Yeah. So yes. So with this now, we have a background already created here, and it's white. I just unlocked it. Then let's kind of bring in brand's logo. From there we can talk about the color, or if I need this on a white background, let's bring it in. So file, place embedded. I have a shortcut there already, but let me just place embedded. I go to where I have my logos, assets, 300 ppi, and okay, let me bring in that red and black. Okay, it's very big, so I hold down the Alt key. Why I hold down the Alt key and reduce is because I want it to remain at the center while I'm reducing. Otherwise, if I reduce without the Alt key, you can see I'm not holding the Alt key. If you can see me on the camera, if I reduce without the Alt key, it will stay on one side. Okay, but when I just hold down the Alt, it stays on the center, and okay, and that's what I want. And so, okay, business card, we are doing a simple one, not too complicated one. So business card that has a logo in the front. Okay, this is the front. Okay, and we can have the name at the top here. So let me have a name. I can just create a new layer if I want. Just press T or click on the text tool and type. Okay, the font is very big now. I'll reduce it around 14. Okay, I still reduce it maybe like 10. Okay, so let me put a name there. I'll say OB small case Cynthia. Okay, that's my stuff. So I put semi bold because I want it to be seen. It looks too big too. Maybe I can just make it 8. Yeah. Okay, maybe since the son name is Obi, we can just make this capital case. You can scroll down here where you have double T. I know for beginners class I've not taught it, but where you have double T, it means capital. Okay, so I just click that, and that is capital. Let's put comma there. And that's it. So that's the son name. Then I can duplicate that just to write the position. So duplicate, if you are going to be doing it on the canvas area, you want to duplicate on the canvas area, you can hold down Alt. But in case while you are trying to duplicate and it carries something else, please, another method of duplicating is Ctrl J. You can duplicate. So you can double click on it and write the position. Media. Okay, still on the title case. Oh, sorry, on the upper case. So say media manager. Okay, I reduce that font very well. I'll reduce it very well, like 6, and select red. Change the if you have used semi bold, when you want to drop down, don't use although this is for advanced anyway, but don't use something very close to, use something very like one step away from it. Since we have used semi bold, we cannot use medium, we can use regular. Okay, also if you have, maybe if you are using regular and you want to step it down again, don't use light, use extra light. Like give a step. If you are going down, give a step down. If you are going up, give a step up. So that's how you do it. Okay, but this font is still looking somehow big. Let me take 4.5. See how that looks. Okay, align it to the left. Hold down Shift and select Obi Cynthia, and the align. Make sure you're on your move to. That's the only way you will see this. If you followed my class on the tools and functions, the first class. Okay, so that's it. So we have it on that right side now. Okay, now let's maybe just add one element, but we'll take it from this logo. No need importing. Okay, so we just duplicate the logo. Ctrl J this time around. So we have 2 logos on the layer. So Ctrl T to transform it and increase it in size, and just put it by the side here. By the side, we are going to remove all these excesses. Okay, I have not taught this, but it is next week class. But just follow this masking. Okay, I will create a mask on that layer just by clicking on the mask, and it creates a mask. Then I select my brush tool. I think the last class talked about brush tool. Oh, very big. So I right click and reduce the hardness and reduce the size. Come out just to see the size. When you are reducing the size, sorry, did I show you how to come in here? Just right click on the canvas area, right click, then reduce the size, reduce the hardness. Okay, then you paint to the black. Make sure on the foreground is black if you have to remove. Okay, it is until next week we can start talking about why I'm doing this. So I clean. Okay, I don't think I need a soft brush. I need a really hard brush. So I take it back to where it is, and I press enter to escape or to effect that change. Okay, I clean that, and I clean this studio. Clean this and select the move tool. Okay, that's TM is showing, so I go back, select the brush tool again, B for brush, clean that TM, and I select the move tool and just place it somewhere there. Okay, so I just want it to come out like that. Okay, let me just make this thing a little bit let it not just look too plain. Okay, so I will add an inner shadow. That's it, from the effect menu, effects for effect, inner shadow. So you just watch what happens here while I edit this. The distance, I want to increase the distance. I'm increasing it. I'm just using the scroll wheel button, the scroll wheel on the mouse, and I'm increasing, and you are noticing what is happening. So it's looking like is will I use the word indented now? Like it's something that is a card that we cut part of it, and so we have the inner part showing through. That's exactly what I wanted to achieve. Okay, I will just increase the size a bit. Okay, that size there is like the feathering. If you follow the class of tools or so, feathering, I talked about it. Okay, let me reduce the opacity. I don't want it to be too obvious, so I reduce it. I think 25 is there. If you are using a mouse, it makes a whole lot of sense, especially a mouse that has a scroll wheel. Once you just click, you scroll, and they just reduce. That's life made easy. Okay, so we click OK to that. We are okay with that, and we have created the front business card. Maybe we can just add maybe our tagline at the bottom there. So let me borrow this now. With the Alt key selected, sorry, with the Alt key held down. Once you hold down the hotkey, the move tool icon is becomes double. You see a white one and a black one. Watch. Notice that. And you must come to the area where it is not maybe where you got to drag the notes. You can even zoom to make this thing easy for us. You can zoom. Hope we're on 300. This one I zoom and the whole thing is looking weird. I'm sure we are. Okay, but let's zoom and business card is really, really small. So zoom and duplicate it. So we bring it down here, but we're going to change it to black. And okay, let's increase the font a bit to 5.5 now. It's a tagline, so we just say the tagline is get inspired. Okay, now because it's a tagline, we need to increase the tracking, maybe 200. Sorry, that's kerning. Sorry, not tracking. No. Tracking is the line space. So kerning. Then I think I should italicize it. So now one thing I want to explain here. This is not okay. Let me just say it. This font that I'm using is my font, but it does not have the italics version. Like it does not italicize. Everything about it is just straight. But Photoshop can help you italicize a font that did not come with italics. Okay, so and the way to do that is you must have this your character panel active. You can go to the windows and look for character and make it active. Okay, that's the A. The symbol is A. Then just come to the menu here where you have this, and you see force italic. I don't really know why that spelling is spelled like that because it sounds like force it to be italicized, and that's how I think it's what it's doing. Okay, so if I say force italic, then I force this font to be italicized. You can notice it now. Okay, and that is that. So we have our business card, the front of the business card. Okay, remember I talked about if we forgot to make this thing an artboard when we're creating a new document, we can still make it an artboard at this point. So I want to have the second side of the business card designed by the side. And so what I can do is I go to the artboard tool, I come from the top there and just draw until I get to the bottom there. Make sure no layer is locked. No layer should be locked when you are doing this. It's very, very important. Then since this is created, I just click the plus icon to have a copy of that, but not with the content. If you have to duplicate with the content, let me select my move tool. If you have to duplicate with the content, you have to select the artboard and press Ctrl J. Okay, that's how it will duplicate with the content. But just pressing the plus only, you select and press plus, we only add an empty canvas area. Okay, I don't need that artboard, so let me delete it. So now I'm in the artboard, so my artboard 2. So in artboard 2, let's assume now we want to make the back of the artboard red. Okay, since we have white in the front, red at the back, and maybe we write with white. Let's just try something like that. So what we can do is we can create a solid color adjustment layer. Just select it and use our eyedropper to select this red that is here already, and automatically it adds here. So click OK to that. Now this guy here, we can bring him to this side, and the fastest way to do that is you can right click on it. That's this pattern or element that we added here. We can right click on the layer and say duplicate layer. If you use this command, a dialog box will come up, and this dialog box is asking you as asset as what. The name here is asset 18, so it's asking you, do you want it to bear the same name? That's not a problem. You can choose yes or no, or change the name. Then document. The document is this one we are working on Untitled 1. We did not save it. Excuse me. Artboard. There's artboard here, but we have artboard 2 and this artboard 1. So we can select here and select artboard 2. We can actually duplicate and go and drop it in another document that is open. But what we want to do is that we want to put it in artboard 2, and that's all. So it can still bear the same name, it doesn't matter. And click OK. So automatically it comes and join artboard 2. But you can see it is red in color and we have the red on the background, so we just need to change the color. That's all. So to do that, we have an adjustment layer called levels. It helps to change color. Okay, you select levels, but you need to clip it and tell levels to only act on this. So we call it clip masking, meaning every command we are giving on these levels, it should not affect the background. Otherwise, watch, if I scroll down to where the property of the levels is showing, and I put on this output levels, I put 255 here. It changes everything to white, but I don't want the background to be white, so I have to clip mask it. So this is where we have it. It's called clip mask. Okay, as you just select it, it clips to that layer, meaning it should only affect the layer underneath it, directly underneath it, not all the layers that are underneath it, but the one directly underneath it. So when you select it, it will only affect that Z layer. But somehow, I think our inner shadow is not reflecting well. Let me see. I hope the levels didn't affect it too. Okay, so let's increase the opacity. Okay, so it's there. Okay, but we just have to control the opacity. For a white background, it was showing before, but this time around we are on a different background. So here. Okay, so we have this now as the back of the card. Okay, if we love this, all we just need to put at the back is maybe the services that the brand studio offers, or as the person offers, will be Cynthia, media manager. Okay, all right, so let's go there. Just okay, so maybe what I'll do is I'll copy some of all these words so that I can use them. Maybe like the Obi Cynthia. Let me just hold down Alt on the layer, hold down Alt, and drag it to the second hardboard. It will duplicate. You still have the Obi Cynthia in the other hardboard, and it's also in hardboard 2 because of Alt. Holding down Alt duplicates a lot. Take note. Okay, so let's go back to this now. Of course, we cannot use black, we have to use white. So, and we don't want name now. Maybe it's services we want to show. So we just put services that concerns Z. So let's just say build, not capital now. Remove that. Okay. Build off. Is still active. Okay, so okay, build your brand with us today. Okay, I think I need a lot of spacing. Let's see what 75 will look like. Let's reduce it to medium. Okay, maybe regular. Regular is fine. Okay, build your brand with us today. So we have the next thing now is going to be content creation. Make that one. Okay, visual designs, visual brand creation. Okay, animation and prints. So let's have it that way. So we can just format it now. Uh, we can say auto here. Okay, I really want this to. Okay, I'm still going to break it. So that means there won't be need for this. Okay, I'm going to use we use regular here, so we use semi bold here now. Okay, just add one or two things. As with a pen tool, I just drew a line with a pen tool. Oh, it's not even a line itself. I have to change this to shape. Don't worry, I've not touched this, but you get to understand later. Change it to white. I need white. I change this to 3, and I click, hold down shift to make it straight. That's it. I escape. Okay, and change to my move tool. Okay, so if we have this, we just need to drop the logo. Let me just get the white version of the logo. ZED. Okay, but this is brand studio, this is design studio. Okay, I don't want to contradict that. Let me just show you what we can do. Let's take the brand studio, or we can change it to white. Use it, drop it at the bottom there. Now, levels has a shortcut, but this shortcut does not create. How do I put it? It does not create its own layer. It just adds it underneath it. That is like it's attached to it. So when you press Ctrl L, the levels adjustment dialog box comes up. Once anything you effect here will stay underneath the layer, like it's part of the layer, it's attached to it. For me, this is almost like the best. If you don't want to be doing clip masking, okay, if you don't want to be doing, you can use this. But why this clip mask is also good is that you are able to control the mask. Okay, don't worry, when we get to these topics, I will explain much more better. So, but for now, I want to change that to white. So I just add 255 here. Okay, and that changes to white, and I click OK. Okay, and so what it means now is that at this point, that's attached itself to this place as levels. When you click here, you open it, you see it as levels. So meaning we can come back to it and change the figures if we want. If we wanted it to be original color or black, we put here 0, it becomes black. But what we want is white, so we put 255 and 255 here. Okay, until it becomes white. And so let's assume now that this is our business card. Business card done. I hope we are still online. Somebody say hi if you are still online. Hello, if you can hear me, say hi.
Hi.
All right.
Hi.
All right. Thank you. All right. Thank you very much. Okay. So now it's time to export. Let's assume we like what we see. Okay. F4. Okay. I'll share my shortcut later. Somebody asked for it, and I'm taking time to compile it. I'll share it. So, let's export it, then import it. Like this is already a done job, then we want to show client, want to present it to client. You cannot just export this and send it to clients like that. No, nope, nope. I would not, I will not approve of that. So that's why the business card mock-up will be very useful. So we are going to do many business, we are going to open many business card mock-ups, and I will still send some to the group. Okay, because it takes time to upload. I don't want to distort our live performance here. So we export to export file, export, export as. This is a shortcut. I use it a lot. And the beautiful thing about this Photoshop is, like, if you use CorelDRAW, you cannot export all your pages except with the plugin. But that plugin itself, I've not even been able to conquer it. You cannot export all your pages at once. Yeah, but with Photoshop, if you have 200 artboards, you can export all of them. So we have all the artboards here. Okay, but quickly, let's rename the artboards. It's very needful. Artboard 1 is the front. So we'll call it front. And artboard 2 is the back. So we'll say back. Okay, so we renamed it front and back. Okay, that thing I just did now. If you want maybe like if they are all open like this, and there are some things we're not even organizing our work. Hey guys, come on, we need to organize our work. Maybe because I'm rushing. Okay, if you look at the front now, let me close this back. So I will look at the front now. If you look at the front, we have Get Inspired and we have the logo. So they are together. So let's put them in one folder. Get Inspired in one folder. So we can just call it Z. Okay. We have Media Manager and the name together. Okay. So we'll call that like a name. Or name and position. Name and position. It's good you organize your work, because when you want to make changes, it's easy for you. So the pattern or the element and the background can be BG. So that whenever you want to reach anything in the background, you just know that's BG. So let's do the same for the back. It's good you organize your work. It's also good when you send the job to someone, the person can know what to do too. So the color field is the background. And we have this logo here. We have, okay, the other logo we touch, the levels, build content, and this. Okay, these three can be on the same layer. From build content, on the same group. From build content down up to shapes. Ctrl G, rename it and say services. Then all this, okay, this is the logo here. So let's just put it on top. Just click and drag to the top. A tip. Though I'm going to make a video on tips of working with layer. But let me just name this to BG. If you want to move like this asset, if it was at the bottom, beneath the background, it's not seen now, and you want to take it to the top, a very quick shortcut is that open bracket and close brackets, or should I call it square brackets or parentheses. Okay, not the one that is on 9 and 0, the one that is just immediately after P, OP, then the next one, open bracket, close bracket. If you will use that and control, the close bracket is the one that moves it up, okay, while the open bracket moves it down. Okay, then if you want to select another layer while this logo is selected, you can use Alt with the same parentheses. If you use Alt and you use the close bracket, you will select the BG. If you press it again, you select the services. So you see, that's working with layer. If you go down again, you select the logo. Let's just rename that into logo. Logo. Good. So we take it up, control and that bracket. Otherwise, if you want to use mouse, you just click and drag up. Okay, let me close this. So we have back and we have front. So we have organized this. Now, if you like, you can put this in a folder, but it's just a single file. So of no use. All right. So now we export. Remember the shortcut, Control, Shift, Alt, W. They are all on one side of your laptop or your keyboard, so you can just press them together. So we have front. Now This is the beautiful thing about exporting. You know the front, you know the back. In exporting, if you are using 2022, you need to check quality. Okay, I think it was 2021 that says something like 100% for quality. So, but in 2022 they changed all those things to something like maybe 25% is now very poor, maybe 30% poor, and 40% fair, then 50% good, very good like 75%, then maybe 80 or 85% excellent, and 100% great. So, but one thing you have to be checking is the size. Look at the size, 17 kilobytes. Imagine 17 kilobytes will look like it's too light. Okay, you should even be thinking, will the color come out? So I like to go for the highest. Great. When I see that, and it's even still low. But I don't want to do the other one that has to do with scaling, because if you increase scaling, the size of the business card will be increased. That's what scaling will do. But since it's at this level, it's okay, no problem. As far as the whole thing is showing great, I mean, it shows great here, so it's great. Then the back is 29 at good, but we need it to be great. So this is only for 2022 users. So please, if you're not using 2022, don't be looking for great and good and poor. You won't see all that. All right. Okay. So, and if all this is done, you see all these are selected. That means select also. If we export to a folder. So let me export quickly to a folder. Okay. You can export and drop here. Just select it there. That's it. Okay, so we have done our design. Now let's go back to the business card mockup. So we are going to bring in the business card here. So we right click and edit content. And then we have all this, so we can just off them, put them off. Thank you for coming. And import, place embedded from where we exported to. Was that the front or the back? I'm sure it's the back. Let me just take this one. Let me assume it's the back. So now some of these business card mockups, they have different sizes, and it's very funny. But you see, when I was designing I took note of edges. I just increased it with Alt and drag. Okay, I took note of the edges, making sure that nothing is cut off. So I can, even if I notice that the logo is almost falling out, I can pull it up like this. Just make some minor adjustments and just make sure that nothing is lost. If something is lost, you go back to your original design, adjust it, and export it again. This way, you are also guided that before printing, you are not just going to print something that by the time the machine is going to be trimming all this, they'll be trimming some things out. That will not make a lot of sense. So it's good that you have this checked out first. All right. So make sure that, because we are working with a smart object, those of you who have not listened to the teaching on smart object, please go and listen to it. We must commit our changes, as we must save. So go to File and Save. And once we have saved, we can go back to it's updating. That's why the mouse is updated now. So go back to it, and we have it there. So that's the business card. Woo! Woo! It's looking so attractive. All right. The front side now, we edit it. I think we have this open somewhere, but we can still edit content to open to it. So we off all these layers. Thank you for coming. And import, place embedded, and select the front and place. Same thing, we click we hold down the Alt and drag. Also taking note of the name, we don't want it to cut, so we bring it down a little. Then that's okay. Then we save, Ctrl S, and use the keyboard shortcut. Ctrl S, and it's saved. Then we go back to the main mockup. And there we have it. That's the business card, and you see the white and red thing just make a whole lot of sense. Okay, if we were to change the colors of the ball, maybe to like white, let's see how it will look like. It looks nice. Yes, we don't want it to be the focus, so it's good like this. This is tallying with the background. Let it not be the focus. Let the business card be the focus. one thing about design is that once you just put red, you have many focus. There's red business card and there's red balls. So, but we don't want it to be the focus. So let's dye it down there. You can even make it somewhere around gray, so that it emulates the background a bit. And so our business card is the focus now. And once the client gets to see this, it's like, wow, this is my card. I love it. When do you get it printed? Stuff like that. Okay, so let's go check out another business card mock-up. I have one here like that again. Okay, I'm trying to open it. You don't see my screen, but it will open now in Photoshop. Yeah. Okay, so we have this. This same mock-up is from the same author. The author of the previous business card we use is the same author for this. Okay, this is a Timothy's. Okay, Mr. Timothy. Okay, this is for a client. I did this for Mr. Timothy, a client from Abuja. All right, so let's go over this now. In the back side, just the same way we have that. The back side, we just edit content. Sorry, not on the outside here. Edit content. And we have all this business card already. So I just off this and place embedded, Control Shift P. Oh, that's my own shortcut. Oh, it will not be on your Photoshop. Okay, was that the front or back? I can't remember again. Oh. Let me go back. Okay, that was the back. Okay, so let's go back. So let's import the back, bring it in, and increase the size a bit. You can see this one now is different from the other one, even though they are the same author. Okay, and then we have it. Okay, we save, Control S, and we go back to the business card. That's taking effect. Of course, you see now that the background is not tallying because the previous, but we'll change that. Don't worry. So we edit content for the front side. Right click, edit content. I have a shortcut for this, but I don't want to use it because it's not. I was one who fixed it. Okay, close all this, make them invisible. Then we import file, place embedded. Then the front. Place it. Okay, just a little adjustment at the top there, and that's it. Okay, save, Control S, and go back to so see how it's looking, but we just need to tweak this background. So it's showing here that background color, we can change it. So we go to where we have the change color, this place, and double click on it. So we can change the color. Let's try white. No. Let's try red. It's too reddish. Okay, let's try gray. Gray always balances things. Yeah. What do you think, guys? I think this gray makes sense. Okay, like it's calm. One thing we are trying to bring focus to the card and not focus on the background. So we need to use a color that does not kill our intent, original intent. So, but I think I love this gray. Let me know what you think on the comments. Okay, a little lighter is still okay. All right. So this is how we get to put this business card in design. Someone trying to say something?
The gray is okay.
Okay, the gray is okay. Thank you very much. So we export it. I'm going to export it and send it to the group now. All the business card. And I did not want this tutorial to be more than 9 o'clock. So I'm going to take questions and answer, but let me just export this. Control Alt Shift W. Export. You can see the file name. That's how you get it to export. And drop it. Okay, we export the other one too. The first one, Control Alt Shift W. Export. Okay, I didn't get to change. Let me make it maybe excellent. Excellent. The size will change once we have changed it. 2.2 MB. It's nice. That way, when you are posting it, the sharpness is very okay, especially on WhatsApp that reduces quality of pictures. Quality is retained. All right. So this is very good. So I'm sending it to the group now. Yes. Okay. So let me know what you think, guys. We are done. Let me know if you have a question. No, I'm going to send the mock-up, the second mock-up we use to the group. Let me know if you have a question, with some contemplations, anything at all. Let me know. Yeah,
Good if
yeah,
I
good.
mock up with new layer, as after I've closed other distance inside the smart object. So I
Yeah.
normally create new layer, but didn't know
Oh, I'm losing you. I can't get you clearly. Can you type what you are saying? Maybe I will get you better.
okay, let me try come again.
Okay, try now.
And enter through the smart object.
Okay.
So all those designs that came with the smart object already. So I'll cover the I'll close the eye.
Yes, yes, yes. You make them invisible. You
Mm,
can even delete them if you want. If you checked the ones I did, there are some that came with it, like the original ones that came with it, the ones I've done before, they were all there showing. But I do not want them, like if I off this, you will see this one I did before, this one I did some time ago, this is the one I did some time ago too. Then I think this is the original one that came with it. But I mean, this is not very fine. So these are the ones I've done so far, like the history of me using these smart objects is what you are seeing until my own. So you can just do away with them by offing them. It doesn't take much space. After all, it's not going to add to the export. You get the point?
mm. But the thing is that after I close it, the next thing I normally do is I'll create new layer.
Okay, and start designing there. Eh?
Add a new layer.
You create new layer and start designing. Is that what you are saying?
That's nice to place the this thing now. Place the
You
image.
don't, no, no, you don't really need to create a new layer. Automatically, if you are importing, like placing them or embedding it there, it will
Mm,
automatically create a new layer. You
okay.
understand? You don't need to create a new layer. But if you are creating a new layer because you want to start designing, you can do that. But I don't subscribe to it because if the Photoshop crash, you will lose that work. Are you getting it? You will lose that particular one you created there. But if you are creating on a separate document, if your Photoshop crash, your Photoshop will keep that one. There is a
Mm,
reason to that. But when we are treating smart objects, I just hope I will remember. I will explain why PSD is different from PSB. There's PSD and there's PSB. B for ball. You get? If PSD crash, it can be recovered. But if PSB crash, where you go and recover it is only if you are smart enough. You can be able to get it from there. So that's why it's not good. And every smart objects are PSBs, not D. Why documents are PSD. But don't worry, when we treat smart object, I will explain so that you be very, very cautious. I've had experience of what you are saying now, and it was not funny. Okay. All right. So, any other question? Okay, guys. The video for this class is recorded. I actually sent another mock-up. Okay, it was intentional. I want us to give it a try. At least, let's create something. Let me show what I sent. Book cover mock-up. I sent this mock-up. It has the front and the back and other sides of it. It has three, not two. The one we did before was two. So I want you guys to attempt a book design. Just do something, and nobody is going to. I mean, you may not sell the book, but just do something with this mock-up and show me. Then tomorrow we're also going to treat this mock-up too and discuss other things also. So please do that. And I mean, it's a really wonderful time with you guys. This is 8:55. I tried my possible best to make sure that it will not be more than 40 or 45 minutes at most, because the video file will also be large, all right, to upload. Okay, so but please, if you missed this class for any reason, anybody that missed this class, the video will be definitely uploaded to the YouTube so that you can watch. Thank you very, very much, Jonathan. Thank you, Satim. Thank you, Miss Jojo. Ace Graphics joined us. I saw you. Somto Akpala, I saw you. Thank you very much. And every other person who missed it, thank you too for missing also. And say until tomorrow, 8 p.m. also. God bless you. Thank you.